à toutes et à tous et bienvenue dans You Speak Français. Je suis ravie de vous retrouver pour un nouveau lundi grammaire. Welcome back for another Grammar Monday. Aujourd'hui, je voulais vous présenter un nouveau point grammatical assez important. So a new grammar point today. It's called Gérondif and participe présent. Okay? Avant de vous expliquer, so before explaining how to use it, I'm just going to explain it, how to construct it. Okay, so construction, formation. This is as follows. First of all, you need the preposition en, okay, followed by the verb, and the verb has a specific ending which is en. ANT, same pronunciation in both cases, okay, but a bit different writing, okay? So, the verb obviously here is not in the infinitive form, it's on a specific form. So the radical, to know the root of the verb, you have to take the verb you're looking for. In the case, like you have an example here, the case of the verb lire, which is to read, okay? You conjugate it at the first person of plural, in plural, okay, in the present tense. So in that case of lire, it is nous lisons, right? Here, ONS is the ending, the part that makes the present tense, okay? Lise, L-E-S, is the radical part, okay? So you will keep this radical part and you will remove the ending, which is ONS here, and you will replace it by ANT, en. So, to put the verb lire into Gérondif, okay, the specific form, you will then take the same radical, li, and you will add en, which will become lisant, okay? To make it full Gérondif, you need the preposition en, so en lisant. Let's take another example. You have other example here. Boire, to drink, okay? Je bois, tu bois, il boit, nous buvons. It's irregular in present tense, so that becomes nous buvons, okay? Et donc, en buvant, okay? If I take a simple one like parler, to speak, in the present tense at the first person of plural, it's nous parlons, okay? So if I put it in gerundive, it becomes en parlant, right? You see, I keep the same radical. And so to know the radical, remember you have to take the same radical as the verb, how it conjugate in the first person of plural in the present of indicative tense, okay? There are 3 exceptions, okay? Only 3 exceptions, which are the follow. The verb être, en étant, the verb avoir, en ayant, and the verb savoir, en sachant. So être, to be, avoir, to have, savoir, to know, okay? So those 3 are the exception, right? Just remember, they do not follow this general rule of constructing the gerundif. Okay, just remember that. So now, how to use it and why do you use gérondif? Here you have a list. First of all, it's to express simultaneity. Is it the word in English? I don't know. Maybe I'm just inventing a new word. Anyway, it's 2 actions that are done by the same subject at the same time. Okay? So, simultaneously, you're doing 2 things, 2 actions, simultaneously. So here you have an example. Il travaille en chantant. So, he works while, you would translate it as while singing. Okay? Il lit en marchant. Something I actually do. He reads while walking. Here, you have 2 actions. Doesn't matter which verb you put first. I could say il chante en travaillant. Same, you know. He sings while working, he works while singing. Same. So you can interchange, there's no problem. You're just doing two actions simultaneously at the same time. Okay. Second use, causes, circumstances, way of how to do something. So you can use Gérondif to explain a method of doing something. Example. Il a fait fortune en jouant, which means he became rich by playing. So in that case, it will be translated by plus ing, okay? Je suis tombé en skiant. I fell while skiing. That would work out. Well, by skiing, right? So you're explaining the way or the way, the causes of your results. So the result is that you fell, probably you hurt yourself. How did you do that? You were skiing, okay? Another example, condition. Equivalent of if, si in French. So, en cherchant, on trouve. An example. En signant, vous acceptez. This is more a literal way of talking. Orally, people will more often use si, if, okay? So, en cherchant, on trouve. I can change the sentence and use if, okay? It will be si on cherche, on trouve. D'accord? En signant, vous acceptez. Si vous signez, vous acceptez. If you sign, you accept the contract in that case, implied, okay? So here, the last one is tout, okay? The word tout, which means all, okay? Followed by the Gérondif. So here, it can mean either two actions that are at the same time, simultaneously, just like the first explanation, or putting in opposition two facts. Okay, let's see an example. Il travaille tout en écoutant la radio. Okay. Il travaille tout en écoutant la radio. So here he's doing two actions. He's working while listening to radio. You might wonder, so what's the difference with the first explanation? Why do we need two in that case? Two in that case is just putting more emphasis on the fact that it's very impressive. You know, it's kind of like, you could just say il travaille en écoutant la radio. It's just a plain random fact. But if you had il travaille tout en écoutant la radio, you're trying to convey a feeling. More like it's impressive, huh? How come he can do that? That type of sense, right? And then the sense can change just depending on the tones of your voice, right? Second example for the opposition. Il est malheureux tout en étant très riche. He's unhappy all the while he's very rich. So it happens, but normally you were expecting someone to be rich to be happy. So it's opposition in that case, right? You were trying to make like, but he's unhappy. So how come he's unhappy while he's very rich? So that's the idea here. Il est malheureux tout en étant très riche. It's kind of like making, that's two concepts that doesn't work together, okay? So this is Gérondif. Then there's something very close to Gérondif, which is called participe présent. What is participe présent? It's exactly the same thing as Gérondif, construction-wise, except that you have to remove the preposition en. Okay? The use of the participe présent is mainly writing. It's mainly writing, okay? And it's usually replacing the pronom relative pronouns qui. Okay, that is followed by a verb. So it's usually participe présent used in writing mainly, right? Just writing. And therefore it replaces this construction. So here I have an example. Les personnes ayant plus de 18 ans peuvent voter. So the people that are more than 18 years old, can vote. You could also say, les personnes qui ont plus de 18 ans peuvent voter. Right? In this case, the verb, obviously, you start from here, is avoir. So avoir, ayant. Remember, it's one of the three only irregulars in the participe présent gérondif construction that you have to remember. It's only remember. Okay? So you could say those two are just the same meaning. Alright? It just sounds more formal. Okay? And one thing to always remember, le participe présent, toujours invariable. Invariable means you do not change it based on gender or quantity of the subject. Okay? It doesn't change. Participe présent, therefore, it's, you guess it, we call it participe présent. It's the verb followed by int, right? If you had en, you get the gérondif. And if you don't have en, you don't have it, you just get participe présent. Okay? So, this is the explanation of gérondif et participe présent. I encourage you to make a few sentences, write them in the comment section, and I will try to correct them as soon as I can. And if you have any questions, leave it down below. Et je vous dis à très bientôt. À bientôt!